What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorldPodcast. Today we're going to be taking a look at Week 16 Sunday games in NFL. We're going to start off with the Broncos and the Chargers. Not much to say about the Broncos. Like I said, it's been a real crazy season for them. Drew Lock, I like him. Do I like him a lot? Probably not. Justin Herbert, bro, listen, the dude has been unbelievable. 28 pass TDs for the season. This actually became a lot closer than it was supposed to be. I thought the Chargers would probably win this in a blowout. Broncos fought late, tried to do some stuff. It didn't really work out. Drop pass by Jerry Jeudy would have got them in field goal range, probably would have got it to OT. Didn't work out. It is what it is. The records show what these two teams were able to accomplish this season. I do like what could happen for the Chargers, though. You know, you give this young man, Justin Herbert, some weapons around him, defensively, start to rebuild a little bit. This guy can take you to the promised land. You got the right QB if you're the Chargers, all right? So just so you guys know that, don't worry about it. You guys should know that Justin Herbert's going to be that real deal. The Browns and the Jets. Now, look, this is what was hilarious about this. A wide receiver was throwing a touchdown when I first started to actually understand what was going on. This dude Crowder, I'm like, yo, what is happening right now? It was a very, very wild game. Obviously, we know that the Browns didn't have all their receivers, some kind of pool. Dudes were just, they were high risk, and the league is not playing around with this stuff. And they said, look, guys, hey, go sit down. So Baker Mayfield didn't have any receivers realistically to throw the ball to. He threw the ball like 58 times, some kind of weird stuff like that. It was like 28 to 58. It was weird numbers. His percentages were very, very low, but he did not have any receivers to throw the ball to. And the Jets still barely won, which shows you how terrible they are. Now, look, I got to tell you this right now. I don't know what Adam Gase is doing, because do you want to tank for Lawrence? You don't want to tank for Lawrence? Like, what do you want to do? I know Jet fans were very upset about this win. It's not about winning anymore with them. They want to win in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not trying to actually win games and all. Like, nobody cares about all that. Dudes just want to win in the draft. And for some reason, Adam Gase is doing everything possible to make people hate him more. And I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense. Just lose the game, dude. Everybody knows you're not doing anything. You're tanking for Lawrence. Finish the job. Ravens and the Giants. I got to tell you this right now. I was very impressed with the fact that the Ravens were able to do a lot of the things that they were able to do offensively, because the Giants still have a pretty good defense. Regardless of what you want to say about them, yes, they suck, but they don't really give up a lot of points in the fact of most of their games have been very, very close, and defensively they've played very well. So if you want to make fun of the Giants, it's a little bit different for me, because defensively I liked a lot of the stuff that I've seen out of them. Offensively, I don't know what's going on with them, but look, it doesn't really matter. The Ravens went out there, Jay Dobbins, rush TD in 5 straight games, Baltimore rookie record. Dudes is out there putting in work. Will this team be able to fire themselves up come playoff time? I don't know. We're waiting to see what, Lamar Jackson can do in the playoffs. That's what everybody has, it's like a whole memo out for the guy. Like, yo, are you going to show up, in the playoffs? Let's see what you could do. The Bengals and the Texans. Now, look, this right here I didn't expect. The Bengals just beat the Steelers, but we all know that they have that TikTok pop star, Juju Smith-Schuster. We're like, yo, the Bengals are not good, right? Like, what's going on? We got Joe Burrow out. Like, what's happening? The Texans still lose to them. I don't know what's going on. Defensively, they were playing very, very well, though. Deshaun Watson, he put in a lot of work, 3 touchdowns, all that good stuff, but it just didn't work out in the end because their defense wasn't good. The Texans' defense sucked. So it's like, you don't know which way it's going to go. We did expect this record. It's not like we didn't expect it. I predicted the record would be somewhere around this because, what are they doing? You lose DeAndre Hopkins, who, in fact, hasn't been playing too well over there, in Arizona. But, well, he's been playing well, but the last game, I just didn't like what was going on. Yeah, he almost got hurt, but, bruh, if you're the number one guy, you got to play better. Like, the dude had ridiculous amounts of yards, but that's not what we should be talking about right now. The bottom line is the Bengals are beating on dudes, and they suck. So something's going on, and I don't understand how they got 2 straight wins. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to jump right into the Bears and the Jags. The Bears beat the brakes off the Jaguars. Now, this is what's really interesting, right? The Jaguars suck, right? But the Bears, I keep trying to tell you guys about Trubisky. I know the Jags suck, but a lot of other teams that played the Jags didn't play as well as Trubisky did. And it's like, okay, is he good? Is he not good? We don't know. Like, bro, I just told you, I'm not ready to write him off, but he played very, very well. People need to understand, like, some players just need, a certain type of camaraderie around them. And I think that for the most part, watching him play yesterday, Trubisky, I think his teammates kind of like him. Do you guys get that? It's kind of weird. Like, you don't really know what's going to happen in a game when you go out there and, your teammates are like, yo, this guy sucks, and they don't really play well. But it looks like they rally around Trubisky. I don't know. It's not like the Eagles thing with Wentz and how, Nick Foles came out. It's not like that. Like, they like Trubisky there because you could see the way they were playing with emotion and stuff like that. I just like it. It's weird to me because I know they never liked Wentz, but then we got to see what was going on in that locker room, and Wentz was like a weirdo. So that was kind of what was making everybody not like him, and I think that they showed that on the field by not blocking for him and doing other stuff like that. So we'll go back to that, later on in the season at the end to talk about that. But Trubisky, they looked like they wanted to win for him. The Falcons and the Chiefs. Now, I got to give the Falcons a lot of credit. A lot of people thought that the Chiefs would go out there and just beat the brakes off of them, right? It didn't happen that way. 17-14, Falcons fought. I don't know what they're fighting for because they suck, but look, they went out there and they said, look, you're not going to beat the brakes off us. We believe in moral victories, and you're going to beat us, but not beat on us. And that was very, very interesting to see how that worked out. I expected them to score a lot more points, but I think they're probably trying to cool it down and get ready for the playoffs, to be honest. They clinched a first round bye, so they're just chilling. I think it's only the top two teams of both divisions that divisions that get that. So the AFC and one in the NFC, and everybody else has to play. So we'll see how that works out. Colts and the Steelers. The Steelers had me scared a lot through this game because I really thought that their season was over. Somehow, some way, they made it a game and ended up winning it. I have to wait to see exactly what goes on in the playoffs, but I don't think people are scared of the Steelers, which, intimidation plays a lot into how things happen in the playoffs. For instance, when Tom Brady was with the Patriots, nobody wanted to see the Patriots. They didn't want to see Tom. So a lot of that intimidation factor helped them to win a lot of their playoff games. The Steelers, nobody is scared of a TikTok star, Juju Smith-Schuster. So that's going to be something where people are going to say, you know what? This guy wants to make TikTok vids. Let's go ahead and handle his business right quick. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. The Colts could possibly do what they need to do. I think they could probably do something in the playoffs because they're good enough to do that from what we've seen. Panthers and the football team, we all know. Listen, Dwayne Haskins, I don't think he's going to be on a football team next year. He sucked, even with all the stuff that he was in the strip club doing weird stuff, and he still played, but they had to bring the other guy in, the emergency backup. He's not a good quarterback. He reminds me of Jamarcus Russell, but with a smaller arm. He's not going to make it in this league, especially during the time right now where he's showing that doing outside things is more important than his teammates. The Panthers took care of business. I don't know how the Cowboys can't just go away, but it's because of stuff like this. The Washington football team had this done, and they could not handle the business because of the whole situation. Alex Smith being hurt, that calf, still giving problems. So now everything, Cowboys still alive. They can still do stuff because they just won, and I don't know how they won. Like, it's just, they just won't go away, dude. America's team, like, they just won't go away, bro. Just leave, because they're not going to go to the playoffs and do anything. All they're going to do is annoy us, and we're going to look. I saw Zeke doing a little eating thing, and like, come on, dude. Like, you're not doing anything, but, they got the win. It is what it is, all right? Rams and the Seahawks. I think Jared Goff, he's hurt, but I don't know what he's doing. He might not play next week. The Seahawks, this was a rough game. The Seahawks clinched the NFC West title, but it was a very, very rough game. We got to see Aaron Donald do some really, really good stuff. But again, it's not really, you can't expect that defense to do everything. Offensively, you got to put points up. And Jared Goff, like, again, I know he was hurt. I know he got hurt later, whatever, but it's no excuse. Throughout the game, he wasn't able to come up with, plays to get them, what they needed offensively. And that's usually what it is. The playoffs is where you make that bread. That's where you make your name. That's where everybody starts to look and say, you know what? This guy is the real deal. We're not getting that from Jared Goff. And again, he might not play next week. I don't really care. We'll see what happens with the Rams, but that was a tough win for the Seahawks. The Eagles and the Cowboys. I don't understand. Let me just say this right now. How are the Cowboys winning games? They're 6-9, and they're still in the hunt, bro. That's how bad the NFC East is. I don't know what the Eagles are doing. I don't know what's going on, but somebody needs to put the Cowboys out of their misery. They're out here just winning games, and it does not make any sense. None of it makes sense. Okay, it makes zero sense what's going on right now. I cannot believe what's happening, what is occurring, why it's occurring, and how it's happening. But that doesn't matter. What I'm trying to figure out doesn't matter. We have to understand something. The Cowboys are fighting for their right to party and get a home playoff game. Imagine being under 500 and getting a home playoff game. This division is the worst thing I've ever seen, dude. These guys suck, and they're just out here balling, and everybody's having a good time. Dude, I don't like it, but it doesn't really matter. They win next week, they're probably in, but I think they need Washington to lose or something. Is Washington playing them? I don't know what's going on, but I just know that somebody has to lose for them to get in. There's all kind of calculations that I don't really want to go through. The Titans and the Packers. This was a very, very snowy day, okay? Field, bad weather, cold, whatever. Aaron Rodgers is that deal. Devontae Adams, 11 receptions, 142, 3 touchdowns. I don't know why nobody can cover the guy, but somebody needs to cover the guy. And when you're preparing to play the Packers, you should consider figuring out bracket coverages and trying to understand, because this guy is dominating the league right now. But Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is my vote for MVP. I have to give it to him over Mahomes, simply because people didn't expect this after they drafted Love in the draft. They drafted a QB. They thought it would be sweet. Aaron Rodgers has been showing, look, I'm going to leave you guys because you tried to play me and draft the QB, but before I do that, I'm going to drop this MVP on your neck. He's playing unbelievable. Just so everybody understands that, that's what I would do. They were able to box up Derrick Henry pretty well, and Tannehill looked awful. And that was pretty much the name of the game. Packers, you might be good in the playoffs. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.